Good morning. Welcome po sa press briefing ni Presidential Spokesperson Ernesto Abella. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I'd just like to begin by making reference to 2 or 3 points, and then we'll be open to a few questions. All right. Regarding a newspaper headline that says courts are out to stop slide into anarchy, I'd just like to say that the actual statement of Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno was actually a statement of the court ideal that the judiciary's role is to keep the social fabric intact, to address people's cry for justice, and thereby prevent society's descent into anarchy. The statement is very clear that it was a simple explanation and not a statement on the state of things. In connection, we'd also like to make reference to Chief Justice Sereno's statement about graft-triggered TROs. The statement is in reference to the response of the High Court regarding the alarm that President Duterte raised that there are judges who receive bribes from losing bidders to halt government projects. In response to this, the High Court issued several circulars, 70 to be exact, and this is much appreciated that there is a cooperation between branches of government. Third, we'd also like to make reference to the agreement between the Philippines and the NDF, who agreed on an accelerated timetable for peace talks. We're happy that with the ongoing peace talks in Oslo, where both parties have promised to complete the work on the comprehensive agreement on socio-economic reforms within 6 months. As Secretary Bello mentioned, the CASER is considered the heart and soul of the peace negotiations between GRP and NDF as it tackles issues such as agrarian reform, national industrialization, and foreign policy. That's all for now. We're open to questions.
Okay, first question will come from Dexter Ganibe, DCMM.
Sec, magandang umaga po.
Magandang umaga.
Nakarating na po sa inyong tanggapan yung naging komento ng US State Department, yung,
Okay.
Yung kanilang
All right. And yung
deputy
tanong nyo?
spokesman. Ano po ang comment or statement ng palasyo at medyo naging malabnaw na sila doon sa pagbatikos?
Right. We just like to say that we're open to the opinions and positions of certain governments, but we'd like to just say, we'd also like to reiterate that the relationship between the U.S. and the Philippines remains basically solid, and we do have a good relationship.
Follow-up question, sir.
Yes,
Nabanggit na rin ng Pangulo na mukhang nakikiusap ng US na maglagay na tayo ng ambassador sa US or something like that. May meron na po ba? As soon as possible, sabi.
We're working on it for the plain and simple reason that I think Mr. Chidoro is wala pa. No? So as of now, there is none. There is none, but we're working on it.
May follow-up question? Maricela Lili, TV5.
Sir, aside kay former Secretary Gilbert Chodoro, meron na bang inaay si Presidente na possible na pumalit kay Secretary Lorenzana sa Defense kung ma-appoint na siya as ambassador?
Wala pa siyang binabanggit na pangalan. Pero I believe he has a short list.
How many, sir?
Hindi ko po alam yan.
Sir, short list for the DND?
For both.
Okay.
For both.
No more question? Follow-up? Other topic, Joseph Morong, GMA 7.
Sir, just a clarification or more details on the matrix.
All right.
It does outline the personalities involved, but how did the president come up with it? And can you elaborate on the operation, if it is about the drug operation inside the Bilibid?
Basically, I'd like to refer to the first part of your question, which is that actually whatever he comes out with is based on collected intelligence. It's a collaborative intelligence, and so he so he has certain basis for which we are not privy to. Thank you.
Sir, oh, okay. Pero sir, if it's going to, he did say it's about the drug operation, but the Matrix did not illustrate the operation, meaning who takes what.
Okay. Who
Can we
takes
have
what?
more details on
Let's
it?
just take a cue na lang from what the DOJ said, that several witnesses have surfaced to prove certain allegations versus against certain personalities, and they're in the process of taking the affidavits of these particular witnesses, including NBP guards, inmates, and former friends of these personalities that have been referred to. And if and when they have been finally verified, the charges may have to deal with graft and drug-related graft once information is actually verified.
More? Laila Laveria?
Sir, clarification. So the information released by the president hasn't been verified? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying it's not verified. They're verified as of the personalities, but the other links, the so-called links, are being finalized. Okay.
Sir, on a related topic, there remains a lot of criticism or observations about the ongoing drug war and the violence. Aren't these giving the government pause, maybe getting it to reassess its strategy so it won't be so bloody?
Let me just give you my understanding of the whole matter. You have to set it in context. You know, you have to set the whole operation, the whole campaign in context. That from where the president is and from where the president stands, what he sees is basically a nation that is really has really entered into the moss of narcopolitics, when people who are in government and people who are in authority have consciously made choices that actually allow the proliferation of drugs. So he frames the whole matter in terms of a war, and he actually brings out and highlights the fact that the 600,000 surrenderees is simply almost a tip of a large iceberg of how deeply this frightening drug is being used in especially in the lower sectors of society. So basically, the president's concern is to staunch the supply that's coming in to the country, and to make sure that the demand is stopped.
As to the strategy or the approach, are you saying they want the parang scorched earth approach na wala ng parang moderation na kasi
okay. I think the terms that you use imply that a lot of these are state sanctioned, you know. If you read very carefully, if you listen very carefully to what the president is saying and how the strategy is being carried out, it really does not implicate police authority. There is no statement, there is no policy, especially what you just termed as a frightening landscape.
Sir, last na lang, what do you
Yes.
make of the PNP chief's statement calling on drug dealers to burn down the houses of drug lords? Parang doesn't that perpetuate a environment or culture of violence?
Again, let me bring it back. They consider the PNP chief. The PNP chief has taken on also part of the role of the action arm of the president, who has taken on the role of parens patriae. He is saying he's really calling out. This is a time of crisis. You know, the reason why perhaps people have not fully appreciated how deeply the spread of the drug menace is because it's only now that it's being revealed. For the longest time, it was either ignored or not attended to, and so people are not aware of the depths. It's only now, and that's why he's making a large, loud call. So even that, I would say, is a call. It's not an incitement to kill. It's a warning. It's a heads up.
Thank you.
Henry Uri, DCRH, then Dexter and Ina.
Secretary, good morning. Some of the witnesses at the Senate hearing claim that they're being involved in illegal drugs is because of poverty. So walang matinong trabaho, kaya nagtutulak na lang ng droga.
Right.
How would this administration address that particular problem?
If you've been giving attention to the president, to the entire cabinet's efforts, I mean, this is such a hard-working cabinet. It's really surprising. They're running all over the place. You know, the 10-point economic program, the social development program. If you study it and look at it, it's so pro-poor. There's a lot of efforts going into creation of more jobs. And as you very well know, it's not a magic wand that you know, it's only been less than 100 days. So, but it's being attended to now. In other words, the current efforts of the government is not just to increase GDP, so to speak, but it is to make sure that people, in the words of some candidates have said, the laylayan, you know,
But
are actually involved.
But follow-up lang, sir. Is the president planning to give a special package like livelihood program for them?
No, there is an entire menu. There's an entire menu of job creation.
Dexter?
It's not just a question of giving. It's a question of making available all these opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dexter.
Sir, sa laki nung or sa dami nung mga nagsipagsuko na mga drug dependent at
Yes.
mga pusher, may isang binabanggit ang Department of Health na isang rehabilitation center na ito lang yung kaya nilang ma-accommodate, and then paggabi yung buong pati sa mga hallway may mga banig na nakalagay doon para matulugan, and hanggang 6 months lang nila I mean yung mga nire-rehab ay hanggang 6 months na lang, and then pinapauwi na kahit hindi pa ganun
Saan po yun? Where is that?
Isa sa mga facilities ng
Right.
Department of Health, sir.
Okay.
Gaano na po ang gaano ba ka-urgent itong mga rehabilitations na gustong itayo ng gobyerno? Dahil alam natin, sabihin na natin nasa 600,000 yung mga drug users.
Right.
And then kulang yung facilities.
Okay. You know, if the DOH has a matrix, I'm not sure about the modified matrix, but they have a matrix, no? Of the 100%, 90% of that are experiential users. And about 9% of that are actual heavy users, and 1% are hardcore. So I believe out of the 600,000, they can give attention, special attention to about the 60,000, you know, to the 60,000 or more. My numbers may not be out there, no? But basically the project is to attend not to everybody, not to all 600,000, because this can be done through the barangays, it can be done through faith-based groups and stuff like that. But already there are efforts. In fact, I've been around. We were able to look at some of the sites, and one of the sites is in Fort Magsaysay. They're developing at least 10 hectares there. 10 hectares, as far as I know, I'm not sure if it's the exact state of the matter, but there we actually looked at a 10-hectare plan for housing, and also alongside that was a sustainable farming and sustainable green programs, so that when the clients come out, they will have been better. You know, they will not only be detox, but they would also have learned some skills and know some sustainable things. In other words, the government is very, very aware and is very concerned that it's not just that drugs are not just a national security issue, but also a public health issue.
May mga hakbang po ba para dun sa mga private entities o mga NGOs na matap ng government? Kasi may mga drug dependents na hindi naman ganun pakalulong o hindi pa ganun mga ilang
Actually,
buwan.
meron. They're all beginning to work. It's just very quiet. It's just all in the background, and that's exactly yun ang mga dapat na-highlight din at this stage of the game, you know. Na meron actually some very credible and very admirable efforts that are being done in order to address.
Pwede bang maglabas ang palas ng mga listahan itong mga government entities na pwede nating mapuntahan at magawa ng kwento.
Meron
yung
po
mga-
sila. I'm sure the one that can supply you with that is the ALG and DOH. Yes.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Ina Andulong, CNN Philippines.
Hi, sir. Going back to the statement of the PNP chief, I just want to clarify, is his statement sanctioned by Malacanang? I mean, do you share the same call para sunugin yung mga bahay ng mga drug lords?
No, I think it's very obvious. There's no such statement that, come on, let's burn down all the houses. It's a passionate call. It's a passionate call to resist.
Joseph Morong. Wait. Okay. Sorry.
And going back to the Matrix, sir, you talked about some links still being finalized.
Yes.
What links are these? And does this mean that the Matrix is still incomplete?
No, the matrix, as far as the details are not. The matrix is per se is complete, as presented by the president. That particular aspect of the matrix, but the details are being worked out.
I use the word incomplete because wala pong naka-mention doon sa Matrix na drug lord or a convict inside when previously the president kept on stressing
Okay.
the fact that
This was a
Senator De Lima has been collecting money from drug lords through her former aide. So where is that character in the Matrix? Because it's not there.
Well, as far as I know, that these are the things that he has allowed to be revealed, and in time it shall also be completed. Okay.
So it's incomplete.
Well, like I said, in that particular aspect, that particular aspect where he wants to link certain personalities, it's foundational. It's foundational.
Joseph Morong.
Sir, just a quick clarification. Yung sa Fort Magsaysay, sir, weren't you referring to the penitentiary or dalawa yung binibuild natin?
No, that's dalawa. Aside from the
dalawa.
penitentiary, there's a rehab center, right?
Okay. And then, sir, just so it comes from you, the drug-related graft case will be filed against whom, sir?
The graft related.
The drug-related graft case will be filed against whom?
Against the leading personality in the Matrix.
Si Tina muna. Tina Mendez, please.
Sir, there is a report sa BBC about female assassins in the Philippines. Here in Manila, they are hired for 20,000 per hit.
Okay.
Of yung they kill yung mga identified drug personalities.
I see.
Any comment?
None.
Why?
I don't know about it. Okay.
Sir, is the government not going to look into the matter? Sir?
Well, I'm sure they are, but at the present, it has not been part of the landscape, of the media landscape.
Sir, sa pa-filean, target personalities, pa-filean ng kaso related to the Matrix, does that include Congressman Espino?
Was it in the Matrix,
Yes.
Congressman Espino?
Yes, sir.
Pangasinan governor. Okay.
Congressman.
Well, let's wait until the next step.
Hannah Sancho.
Morning, Secretary. Sir,
Yes.
na-mention ni President Duterte sa Davao, yung nakatanggap na ng 50 million ransom yung Abu Sayyaf para dun sa Norwegian kay Saking Stad po.
Yeah, okay.
Saan po galing yung ransom?
I'm not privy to that, but I think it was also raised by third parties.
Pero yung position natin, sir, no ransom policy pa rin po ba?
Not
Ng
from the government.
government?
Not from the government. Okay. Ransom not from the government.
Pero okay sa inyo yung ransom, pero wag lang galing sa government.
Well,
Or
that is about hindi
ini-encourage
po dahil sa
natin?
akin. No, sinasabi ko po na the government is also no ransom policy, right? Okay.
Pero ini-encourage natin o hindi doon sa ibang...
We don't encourage if they make negotiations that is their negotiation.
Sir, may ano pong status dun, sir, sa ginagawa ngayon ng mga security forces natin para makuha yung si Saking Stad po? Kasi di ba may
the
order
Norwegian,
po
yeah.
yung Pangulo
Yeah.
na...
I believe they're
pulbusin
working
na-
quietly.
Okay.
Henry Ure.
Sir, clarification lang. Yung Governor Espino na nasa Matrix, yun ba yung governor na binabanggit na ng Pangulo na kasali sa papangalanan niya in the next few days?
I'll check that, okay? About the speed. We'll clarify it. We'll get back to you on that.
Okay. No more? No,
One last question.
One last question, Ross Cos.
Good morning, sir. It has been a month since po pinirmahan ng Pangulo yun pong executive order on FOI.
Yes.
Ano na po nangyari dun po sa
There's a booklet
inventory?
actually. Huh?
Sa inventory po ng exceptions, nakapagpasa na po ba ang DOJ?
Meron na po siya.
Kailan po
Kailan ba
ipapublish?
Yung
Si Second Dinar had actually a draft the other day. Dala-dala niya actually. Including the exceptions. Let's check.
Ipapalabas daw.
Ipapalabas. Okay. As soon as he's, but there is actually but that's actually a draft version yung binigay niya. I believe it's complete. I believe it's complete.
Okay, thank you. Sir, last
Thank
lang
you.
daw.
Okay, one last.
Final question, Joseph
Yes.
Morong.
Sir, China lang. Ang sabi ng People's Daily, I think this is the paper of the Communist Party. Ang sabi is that there's no chance for any talks to proceed if we do not abandon yung arbitration ruling.
All right.
And we have limited cards to play this.
All right. You're talking PPD, right?
Yes.
Yun yung kanilang local paper,
Yes,
right?
sir.
That's local paper. Mas may siguro intindihin natin na meron silang pananalita sa labas at meron silang pananalita sa loob. Yung pong binanggit nyo, para sa kanila po yun. Marami pong salamat.
Okay, thank
Good
you
morning.
Malacanang Press Corps. Thank you Presidential Spokesperson Ernesto Abella. Back to our main studio sa Radyo ng Bayan at PTV.